I realized that, it kind of hit me that a lot of people who are doing wrong things to me, or maybe the way that society is structured in some ways, are doing wrong things to me, isn't necessarily because they have evil intentions. Sometimes it's
bro, that's obvious. That's some obvious stuff. I know that because everybody's brainwashed. It's not their fault they make no sense. They tell us to make no sense. So I'm trying to wake people the fuck up. Everything you believe in is a lie.
Shout out to Abby and Preach. I love that channel.
Yeah.
they be speaking the truth sometimes. Our lighting settings came off. Hold on. Let me get that back on and then we'll start this and see if we can find entertainment in it.
Like you do social commentary on a regular basis. How's your perception of the world changed? Like, what's your worldview now? What's some stuff that you're thinking about that other people probably are not tapped into because of how much social commentary you do?
If you're asking me what's changed about me, I think
that's not the question he asked.
Being around Preach, having the opportunity to. It's also like my time on YouTube has been interesting because I started really aggressively when I was around 26 and now I'm 32. That's been a really big transitional period in my life. I think I've become much more relaxed. I've just chilled out a lot more. I'm not as angry. I don't have as many issues. I'm in a much better place.
You're making a lot more money.
I mean, that's only been the last year and a half. Before that, I was still making 30, 40K a year. So you have to imagine the period where most of my change happened, I was still making the same amount of income. And I've been living on 30 to 40K most of my life, either working in the military, running my own business, doing all this stuff. It's only during the pandemic that things blew up because people don't realize during the pandemic we went from 120K to 1.7 million. So people are like, oh, you guys are rich now.
You ever watch that YouTube channel, I've been Preach? I think you would like them. I didn't know they had just blown up that recently though. Just during the pandemic, I thought they were popular way before that.
I did too. Yeah.
You guys it's like, bro, that's only been the last year and a half. Like, what do you think? I went through 30 years of my life living one way, and then I got to 32, and now I'm a different human being. Like, they don't know me like that. But my homies who I've never changed. I still got the same friends from when I was poor to today. We still kick it. We can spend time. My family members, like, none of these people see me as changed. But everyone online is convinced I have. I'm just like, hey, man, it's all
well,
good.
Maybe it's not how people perceive you, but how has your worldview changed? Getting money.
Yeah, so to that point is like, because I've changed as a person in terms of being much more mellowed out, I'm much more reflective. I'm much more spending time listening, which is part of like why I can't stream, because I feel like I talk too much. Me personally, I can't do it because I have to spend a lot of time listening. Or sometimes, I don't know if you ever have this, Sneako. Sometimes I'll talk and I'll be mid-sentence and I'm like, wait, why am I still talking right now? Like, what the fuck am I even saying at the moment?
Yeah.
I have moments like that, and that's when I realize, like, oh, I might need to shut the fuck up and do some reflection. And people meet me in person sometimes, and they realize like I'm really quiet and I like prefer listening. And so I think that's like the biggest change. I'm just slower, you know. I just take my time a lot more, and I just spend more time listening to people. So I can see the ways.
I have a question based on what he was saying. Like, so since you've been doing the show, like, have you become more like reflective on the things you talk about? Because I feel like I have. Like, I feel like more often, even like when not doing the show, I'll be talking to somebody about something, and then it fills up my brain longer. Like, I'll go over the conversation, like, is that what part of that do I really agree with, or should I kind of?
I'm like, it's for me. I'm like, because I've had my individual challenges, and then I have like family. My mom, you know, in particularly, that's has implemented challenges for me, you know, without the cursing. You know, she was really big on that. You know, like, don't curse, and yeah, it has me look at things differently. It has me use my wording, you know, differently. Don't sound like an idiot on this microphone, you know, stuff like that. And I do feel like I am a little bit more engaged and stuff like that. And then like I notice like a lot of people, especially like friends and stuff like that, that kind of like I have to monitor what I say. And I'm not saying it because I'm hiding something, but it's like, well, hey, you know, Chris, you know, hey, because you be saying you know, to make sure, you know, you don't be doing that, you know, contradict yourself.
You don't want to offend people.
Well, like people that care about me, they don't want me to be contradictive. They don't want me to be preaching one thing and then practicing something different, which is understandable. So even like now, where I even have like, you know, conversations privately with my friends and stuff like that, like I don't use a lot of profanity and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, like, okay, like. But
do you think there's something wrong with that, like preaching one thing and practicing a different?
Absolutely.
Thing? Like for pastors or for regular people?
For anybody, because it's like that makes you hypocritical. If you're hypocritical, then where can you stand? Because see, how my mind operates. I operate if we're in a courtroom.
I'd have to think about that.
I always operate if we're in a courtroom, right? So it's like you can't tell people to you can't be out here trying to play Captain Saver, but then Saturday nights you spotted over there on Florence
picking up the
Captain Savers. It's like, whoa, hold on, player, hold on. You preach all week about Captain Saver, but then on Saturdays you over there scooping them up, like.
But all right, so one of the first things I thought about is like prisoners who talk to kids.
So
don't get in this, or like even gang members who are like, yo, don't get in this life.
I'm
like, yeah.
No, now in that case, I feel like everybody in jail is not guilty, if that makes sense.
Well, that's a fact.
Because sometimes people are just put in uncompromising situations.
Now, let me say it this way. Like, I know gang members who've done gang member things and would sit down and, what is this person saying in chat? Anyway, that would sit down with people and be like, do not do these things. That's not the right way to go.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because,
so like, how is that? Yeah, thank you. How is that different than what we're
because they're
about?
saying that because they're protecting you from the reality or what your reality can be. Like if you're thinking that you're trying to kill to solve a problem, clear a void, do this and that, think you're not gonna get caught, hey bro, you're wrong. And if you want that to be your fate, then go ahead. But if you don't want to be in the position and that I'm in, don't do it. So I will say that because that's like more of a lesson learned. But
so that's why I'm saying I go back and forth about the practice what you preach kind of thing. I think I don't necessarily think that has to be true. I think because like life you learn from mistakes. So I think
experiences,
life you learn from experiences. So I think the people who have who have more experience, like in this culture nowadays, we don't really value old wise people. Like we want to put them away. Like, you know, like the younger you are, the less you probably value old people, right? If you're 17 right now, you probably like the boomers. So like I'm like, okay, so the older you are, the more mistakes you've made. It comes with life. So why wouldn't you
pick their brain?
Why wouldn't you come with wisdom and say, look at all these mistakes I made. Don't do that. But like, it's not practice what you preach. I think you should say practice or preach against what you practice. Maybe.
It's like practice what you preach. It's like you're trying to dictate you as the person. So like, let's say like, you know, for example, where it's like if I'm telling people that I practice what you preach. Perfect example. Instagram chicks, right? So they give you the persona of what? They work out, they watch it, what they eat, they're doing all that. But behind the scenes, no, they going to the doctor, they getting sucked, pulled, tucked, nipped. But then when they on TV or when the camera's rolling, you see them on that treadmill, you see them doing their aerobics. You see, you know, that's what that means with the practice what you preach.
I guess it depends what the outcome is that you're seeking.
You're doing a false sense of reality that it's not true.
Well, that's what I mean. I guess it depends on whether the thing that you're saying is an actual positive Like say they're showing a workout regimen, and if somebody followed it, it would work.
Yeah,
but they went and got surgery.
Exactly.
So I don't see anything wrong with that either.
Well, I'm just saying because like a woman's body, that's such a touchy feely subject for women. And
how do we get on this? We were watching this video.
It's a touchy feely subject for women. So it's like, if a woman's like, yeah, if you just get out there and do this, do that, you can look like me, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's my bad. I actually hear it in your headphones this time.
No, it's all good.
Where can we get to the point of the shit? And so I'm much better at problem solving. And this is even something I reflected with my relationship with
Same
Preach.
thing too. Practice what you preach with the
There's a
problem
lot of
solving
turbulence,
too.
business wise.
Because people will tell people what to do different, and they won't do that at all. Not even.
Right.
Like they'll tell anybody in heartbeat, man, get a job, go do this, stack your money, this, that. Well, do you do that? Well, I work. Yeah, you work now, but you got a loan for $1 million up front.
Right.
I think that's what I mean.
You know,
is the thing that the person that isn't doing the thing, is it good? Like, is it what you probably should do? Because, all right, let's say they went and got a loan for $1 million, but they were like, yo, stack your bread, get a job, get 2 jobs, hustle.
Wrong.
Do this.
Yeah, they're wrong for that.
Why?
Because
they're telling you to do the right thing, but they're doing the wrong thing.
Because if that was the case, then we would have way more millionaires. It's not that easy to get $1 million. We could go on YouTube right now.
I thought you moving the goalposts. They didn't say this is how you get $1 million, or is that what you meant?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, because you're leading people to astray, to doing something that easier said than done.
But all right,
and they're wrong for that.
I can see that. All right, so now we're talking about like guru type people.
Well, yeah, just anybody that's like that has a following, that's portraying to do something and be something, and then in reality, it's not true, and it's not.
This is what I think. I think for like guru type people, I think it's easier to get rich than most people think. I think it's easier to get $1 million than most people think. I think it's hard to do the things to get $1 million, right? And
or to maintain it.
Or maintain it. I think, but if you do the things that you're doing, I think it's easier. But it's hard for everybody to actually do those things. Right?
Well, it's definitely easier to go and get a pistol and then just go out there and do what you gotta do.
No, I mean, like if
that's easy. But can we do that?
We all over the place now. But if a person's like, yo, stop spending money on fast food, put this much away out of your income, put 80% of your income up, invest 10%, live off 10%. Like it, all right,
and so it's easier said than done.
Right, but if you do it, then it's easy to become a millionaire.
If you do it, you still won't get it.
Maybe not, but I think you have a better chance than if you didn't do it.
You have a better chance of probably getting lucky.
Ain't no luck. Yeah. That's not luck.
That's lucky. You got a better chance of getting lucky.
So maybe. You actually think if you follow good financial structure, then it's still luck?
It's still some luck in there. And no one knows how to express it and talk about it because they just happen.
I don't know if I agree with
opportunity just popped up.
But all right, so what do they say? What is it? Opportunity is when preparation meets. No, or is that what it? What's that saying? Look that up.
Okay.
But no, I get the.
No, it's when success is when preparation meets opportunity.
Absolutely.
So if an opportunity comes and you weren't ready for it, then you won't be able to capitalize on it.
But how do you get to the opportunity part?
You don't get there, they just come. So you be ready for when they get there.
But
you prepare for the opportunity, then the opportunity finds you, you're successful.
I'm like, but wouldn't you have to be an opportunist to create opportunity?
No.
Yeah. An opportunist will create more of an opportunity.
We're conflating things. Opportunity, a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. So, like say, I can meet a person. What's something that I haven't? I can meet a surgeon right now who is the president of the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't be like, yo, I really want to work at that hospital, and I'm so lucky that I ran into you, because I just finished medical school. Can't do that. I didn't prepare for that. I didn't prepare for that situation. But a person who did prepare, finished medical school, just happened to be in this place. So two people can be in place for the same opportunity. Only one person that prepared for that opportunity can capitalize on it.
One person has to be opportunist.
And that's, I guess, an extreme example, but on smaller levels, those things work.
Like people don't. I think the thing that they leave out, especially people that make money or became successful, because I'm still going to use the word opportunist, and then I'm going to kind of I'm going to use a different word too. When you're trying to obtain something, you got to stalk it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you live, breathe, eat, output it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that becomes your world. That world in your mind becomes a reality. You know what I'm saying? And you're on it. Every chance, every opportunity, everything. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, it becomes infectious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then people that start believing in you, it'll start spreading in them. You know what I mean? So, but it's like, you have to get to that point. But see, people don't talk about that. Like, is it easier to start from zero and get to 1 million? Or is it easier to get to 100,000 and get to 1 million?
I see what you're saying. Is it easier to get from 100,000 to 1 million than it is from zero to? I think it's harder to get from 0 to 100,000 than it is to get. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's harder to get from 0 to 100,000 than it is to get from 100,000 to 1 million.
Because $100,000, you have not only cracked open some different tax brackets. You cracked open some other little doors that you may have not known, and some other doors have presented itself. You know what I mean? So
I think there's a different reason. I think because if you can get to 100,000, you learn the things that you need to get to 1 million.
Absolutely. But see, people don't talk about that. What do they pitch?
Right. It's not the fact that you have the 100,000, it's that you knew how to get it.
Yeah, but see, no one preaches that.
Yeah.
The 100,000 is skipped. If you follow these tips right here, in 45 days, I can get you $1 million.
Sign up for my course.
Sign up for my course.
Yeah. And
we should start selling courses.
And I won't say it's a scam, but it's like, it's luck and opportunity. If you get lucky, if you're opportunist, if you stalk this, if you do this, they don't share that with you. But if you work around the clock, this opportunity could present itself and you can get the ball going. How many people are going to do that? They're not.
Right, so I think I agree with you. I can't say anything other than that. Opportunity could be luck, but still, you're not going to get lucky if you're not ready. So that's all I was saying.
No, absolutely. But yeah,
I know we done went all in a whole circle because we started somewhere. Then we started talking about people practice but don't preach, or preach but don't practice. Then we got opportunity.
That's the luxury of the show.
That's the luxury of having a podcast, sitting around talking to your friends,
around, you know what I mean?
Drinking Calypso lemonade.
It's the same thing. Even like if we was to talk about this show, like what we're doing now is that we are creating opportunities.
Yeah.
And one day we might get lucky.
We're preparing to face opportunities.
Somebody with a big platform might stumble and put a comment in, and boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the same thing when I went viral on TikTok. Got lucky. You know.
Oh, this guy in the chat. Yo, I timed you out because you were spamming, not because of what you were saying. You posted the same thing back to back twice. Like we deleted the first time, then you reposted it again. But you see, like, things you're posting now, they're still there, right? Like, just chill on the spam posting. That's all.
I don't know what spam is. I'm like,
he was
spamming the chat.
He was like
No,
I don't know. He was campaigning for some reason in the comments. It didn't make sense what he was doing in the
I'm
first
like,
place.
comments are encouraged. Always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My goal for myself personally, you know, just to have the realistic show ever where there's going to be comments like that.
He just
I'm
like
not
he
gonna
had
blackball
posted like
nobody. I'm not gonna taboo them. I'm not gonna block them. No, that's
he had
not what I
posted
do.
like a string of Trump 2024 things. It was like kind of off topic. If you know me, I don't really care about that. Like I like.
No, that's fine. I'm like Trump 2024. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm not a
That's
leftist.
all I
I
can
don't
say
think
about
either
it.
of
We'll
us
see what
are.
happens.
So if
We'll see. Look,
if you were trying
I
to
can
trigger
speak
us
on
over that,
something that I'm not there.
yeah, if you're trying to trigger us over that, we're not those
Yeah.
people.
Hang on tight for
It's
2024.
just that you were
everyone.
spamming it.
No,
We'll
no
see.
worries. I appreciate him tuning in. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the concerns.
Thanks
you know
for
what I
being
mean?
here.
You know, thank you. You know, so you know.
All right, let's see if this conversation helps us rant about some more stuff.
Okay.
I gotta turn it back.
That's
up.
why I get so frustrated and I interrupt people and I don't have that same thing where you like mid-sentence like what the fuck am I talking about? I'm pretty like set in stone with my worldview. I genuinely think like I've taken the red pill. I see the truth of the world, and the red pill is bigger than just women. The red pill is realizing that we're all just pawns in this game.
It's a very powerful statement.
They're
I
controlling
agree.
us completely. And so because I follow that, and I don't see how anyone cannot see that like as a reality, like the pharmaceutical industry, the banks,
No
the government,
comment.
everything is all a scam meant to manipulate and control us. So because I follow that, like I never find myself get off track. Like I stick to that because I don't see how that's just not the truth. That is the truth. We can't trust the government. There is brainwashing. Social media is bad for you. TikTok is ran by China, meant to manipulate people and make them all like change their gender and believe in nonsense.
Don't comment again.
I understand.
Once I realized that,
Hey, hold
I
on, let
talked
me
to
check and see if we're canceled yet. I don't know if we can play that in the United
Oops.
States.
That's why I said no comment.
Oh no, we're good. Okay, let's see.
We didn't say it. Yeah.
people. I'm like, oh my God, these people have absolutely nothing original to say. They just saying, so they just have to go, well, this is what I think about Trump. And well, I don't like a pro-life, pro-choice. It doesn't fucking matter what you think about pro-life, pro-choice. We have no effect. We can't change it. There's no point in voting. There's no point in putting BLM in your bio. The world is the way it is. And the only way we can act accordingly is taking our power back and fighting that.
I'd say this.
I mean, this topic is powerful.
It is. I'm not sure if I 100% agree, but I understand where his frustration's coming from.
Well, he's a young man that's discovering that.
Yeah.
I believe this kid is like 23. So it's like,
Oh snap! Okay.
and so see, this is where you get, this is the good and the bad. And I'll create the subject really quick. This is the good and the bad when it comes to the social media and the internet versus when we had the internet, you know, the internet wasn't, you had to like go home. You had to turn on an actual desktop. You know, type www dot. It was no spell checks. It was none of that.
You couldn't even skip the www.
Yeah,
You had to.
you know.
you had
And
to
then
do
if
the
it
whole
was like
thing.
some of them computers, it was the HPTT with the 2 slashes. You know, and that probably went. That probably went where a few people were like, wait, huh? You know, so this is the gift and the curse. I'll use that as a paraphrase of the internet because it's so easy to just get things now. It's easy to get content. It's easy to get videos. It's easy to, you could get a pushback on something. And then now what happens is that it could create people's minds to be set a certain way, which I'm not saying that that's not right or wrong at all. But what I'm just saying is that, you know, I think this is going to be one of these things, in my personal opinion, when I just talk about technology in general, it's going to be it's going to be bad, more bad than it is good, in my opinion.
Why do you think people are so divisive though? Because I mean, that can't be contested, right? We live in kind of like a divided society at this point. You either are strong right here or you're strong over here, and these things are opposite.
And that's the part that's the craziest part about it, is that technology, in my opinion, how it was revolving was to close or in Charmaine's case, bridge the gap in some things, and it didn't, and it's not working.
Right.
Because we're more divided, we're more spread apart. We're like, how many people are doing a podcast with it's like 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 6 people? When you look at the successful podcasts, you could tell that they're in different places, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But what I'm saying is that people are more suited to do that than to do it old school way. You know, back in the day, it's like if we wanted to see each other, it's like, hey, I go to Jamal's house.
I think it's just easier for people to say whatever they want online, and there's usually no consequence. Like,
absolutely,
having conversations in person come with like a little bit of consequence. You can't just start saying, you know, but that's like, you know, like how that chat we read earlier, you idiotic morons. You can't just start saying that to people in public.
And that's why I feel like I feel about certain things.
People just be doing this on their keyboard.
It's not genuine. It's not true. It's like, if I was to go by some of these comments, and I'm not saying that I'm big and bad and Mr. Billy bad, you know who, and big and tough, but I'm like, bro, if you was sitting down right next to me, and if you was to type what you just said and say that in front of my face, I think that you would maybe think about it first. And I'm not saying it because that I will beat you up or I have the ability to beat you up. There would just
be some natural restraint.
I have an ability to just to beat you up in a different way. Beat you up psychologically on camera. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's when things was really good.
No, but outside of that too. Also, there is like, outside of people being divided, everybody has a strong stance about something.
Because there's no pushback, because they can click. And there's nobody gonna be knocking on the door. Hey, bro.
If somebody disagree with a block.
Who was that? Who was that to? Like, imagine on Facebook and Instagram, because we all be having our little moments, that you say something and somebody knocks on your door 5 minutes later. Hey, man. Hey, these moves ain't. Hey, so you talking about me? Oh, nah. People have become. They've created bravery because the social media umbrella protects them too.
Yeah. Then everybody tries to like group each other into, oh, it's these leftists, it's these rightists, it's these Democrats, it's these Republicans. Like, and nobody's really all of one of the things.
Nobody go on the computer to find out where they stay.
Yeah, like the white supremacists, the Black Lives Matter people, like,
protect their identity. Just like when I play Xbox, everybody sounds so tough. They be like, what? I be like, bro, stop. Relax, sir. It's just a game. And then they be like, well, I said, sir, come on. You don't have to act tough. And they be like.
So you blaming the internet? You blaming the internet for the divisiveness?
Because it's a gift and a curse.
People are getting too comfortable?
It's a gift and a curse, because I feel like the whole push for technology was to, like I said, bridge the gap in certain things. Like, every phone can do video. How many times do you guys video each other? Not to put you on the spot, don't even answer. Right. I know the answer.
Really, never.
I know the answer. How many times you video your mom? You don't have to answer. I know the answer. But the phones are capable.
Right.
Easy. You know what I mean? 20 years ago, it wasn't like that. The first video phone was like the size of this desktop computer.
Yeah.
We sound old as hell right now.
These
young whippersnappers.
With the scrunchy cord. You know
young whippersnappers with the video phones.
Man, the first car phone was in the Mercedes with the scrunchy cord. You know what I'm saying? Back then, that was the hottest thing in the sun, though.
Sure.
They had Motorola phones the size like this and stuff with the antenna like this. Hey, man, what's up, man? Where you at? Man, all right, cool, I'm on my way. Got the best service in America.
The brick phones.
You could be underground and that phone will work. And now we have these very attractive, slimmer,
no antenna,
beautiful antenna-less phones that if I go like this,
you just covered the antenna, yo. You just covered up the antenna.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. Like, oh, no, they didn't figure it out. It's them.
There's a point where you learn that a lot of things that you've been taught were lies. So, for example, in my case, I remember being pushed so heavily to go to school. This is before the internet was like popping. And I was a 17-year-old who hated academia. And my parents pressured me so much. My guidance counselor pressured me. I had good grades. I hated every second of being in school, going to school. And then I remember going to orientation day for university. They let you come in to see what university's like. And I walked in and I went to a lecture hall and I fell asleep. And I realized, like, I can't do this. There's no way I'm paying money to go do this shit. This is not for me, but the whole world is constantly telling me. So I ended up just joining the military instead. My mom stopped talking to me. You know, and it was a tough period. Spent 2 years in the military. My third year, ended up leaving after that.
Oh, you even do a
I didn't know
tour?
you could do 2 years.
Speaking to a lot of my friends from university,
It's gotten watered down.
And
used to be
4 or
4
5
years
years later,
Yeah, I
what I
thought it
ended
was
up
4
realizing-
minimum. You can go in for 2.
Sign me up then.
I would have went for 2 if I knew you could go. One of the main reasons I didn't go to the military is because it was like 4 years.
That 2 years a layup.
A lot of the
That's
stuff
easy
that I've
money
been
right
forced
there.
to accept as being true, like you need to go to school, you'll be a failure, all this stuff, turned out to be bullshit. And I was angry for a long time.
Shout out to the military though, man.
And then I get to my latter years and, you know, and talking with my parents and understanding. What I realized wasn't that these people were trying to feed me a lie.
They
It's
just
that
cared about you.
Exactly. They were trying to feed me what they thought was
Which
right.
is
It's
a
not-
lie.
Hold on. It's not that they were lying to me.
They didn't
It's
know
that
they were lying.
Okay, exactly. So
Yes. That's why I'm angry. Because everything people believe is
breathe.
I like this kid. He reminds me of me.
Why bring
Like
Yeah.
like how I am now. I'm very animated.
The stuff he's mad at, I understand. I ran about it, but I don't like. I understand why it angers him. There's certain stuff that, you know, the large majority of the population will just accept as true, even when it's proven false. The truth. What do they say? A lie spreads fast, truth spreads slow, and that's usually how things work. So even like, I'll point some stuff out just so I don't seem one-sided. Even like the Trump-Russia stuff, that lie spread fast. Well, then when it came out, like, oh no, that wasn't the case. Or like, let me throw something to the other side. Like, what's something, Randy?
Are we getting political or
Or any pop culture political? I'm just saying things that are widely known.
I know there's so many things and I don't know why I can't pull one.
I'm like, even back from that game, you know, we had to whisper in each other's ear, you know,
A telephone.
yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Kinda like
how
that,
and
yeah.
how it was like if you started off, if one person changed it crazy, then it was like it spread like wildfire. You could have just been like, "Hey, say hello," and then
Nah, but I think he's talking about something different. He's talking about like information that is purposefully spread to people that the people that are saying it know aren't true.
Deeper into this video, I don't know if we're gonna display all of it. So he goes into detail with that, basically saying about the history, and it's started to become true that history has been altered, and the reality is starting to hit. And you know, yeah, it might be a little frustrating because he might be frustrated because like his parents, he's probably seen his parents going through a belief of something. He was pushed into that belief of something, and then now here he is. He's a young man discovering that, oh, wait, this is different. Wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Or I was just even thinking too, the whole market behind needing to have a big wedding or having to spend X amount for a wedding because the family has told you, you know, culturally we do this versus like, hey, there could be so much more value in spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for the couple that's going to get married, for a property for
Or
them.
even diamond rings. Diamond rings are like a marketing ploy by.
I mean, everything is a marketing. I say scheme in a figure of speech. Like everything is a marketing scheme. You know, you think about it. But it's like so.
That's true.
That's where you have to just you as the person, what, and as you live this life and live in a life, what are some things that you're going to implement, and what things are you going to just kind of let them go to the wayside?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what people just have to start exercising.
I think the older I get, the more I realize the media lies. Like, I think when I was younger, I used to think the news was what is happening. It was the truth. Like, is that a new thing? And I'm not saying on one side or whatever. All like every news channel that I've seen tells the story based on what they want their people on their side to believe.
Yeah,
and it's not all. Sometimes it's just like nuance, like a little hint of something. But now it seems like they getting egregious, yo.
Well, yeah, it's
now they keep repeating the same thing when they're talking about specific people. And you're like, that's kind of your opinion about how you feel about that person. How can you come on the news and just say that?
Yeah, and then when they don't have nothing, then what do you see them do? They stretching, reaching.
Do you think that's new, or you think that was always like that? And we're
just catching.
We were
up
7
to
years
it.
old and didn't see it.
we're catching up to it.
Yeah.
You know, like serve and protect. You know, I got to talk about them like that. But it's like, do they really? Because it's on the car. You know, but
yeah. I guess that's similar. That's a narrative.
Yeah, but then but what's the reality? What's some people's reality on the encounterment with them is painted different. It's almost like, you know, and I'm not trying to bash law enforcement at all, but it's like as an adult, you're like this. I'll handle it myself. You rather handle it yourself to call them, even though they get paid to do it. Even though it comes out your check, you I'll take care of myself. Because you know, it's I don't know. Because it could flex any kind of way, and you're like, you don't want to take that risk.
Let's see if we can wrap this up. This video.
Hold on.
Let's just relax.
I understand your rage because I've been there. I just want you to hear me. Okay.
I hear you.
So when my parents are saying all this stuff, I'm realizing the intention that they came.
It's gonna be hard to wrap this up because, like I said, it was a little all over the place. I understood
the misconceptions that they were taught. Right.
I understand that.
And so, hold on. So once I realized that, it kind of hit me that a lot of people who are doing wrong things to me, or maybe the way that society is structured in some ways, are doing wrong things to me, isn't necessarily because they have evil intentions. Sometimes
that's obvious. That's some obvious stuff. I know that because everybody's brainwashed. It's not their fault they make no sense. They tell us to make no sense. So I'm trying to wake people the fuck up. Everything you believe in is a lie. The government doesn't care about you. School is a scam. All the fucking history books are lies. We need to wake up and stop letting them control us. I'm not mad at my parents. I'm mad at the fucking system. I'm not mad at the dumb girl who believes in this nonsense. I'm mad at the people who brainwashed them in the first place. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than just the people in your circle. It's the whole thing. In control does not give a fuck about us, Abba.
I'm like, we can end it right there with that.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I think we can.
And my only opinion on that is that, well, it's playing still.
Oh.
And I wrap this up.
I'm gonna stop doing that one day.
And comments are encouraged to really brief too before we like wrap this up and stuff like that on the video. And I believe everything he's saying is correct. But here's the thing. So you're not going to master this. This is something you can't turn off. And I think that's where I think a lot of people that do a tremendous amount of digging and research, finding out things, finding out loopholes, angles, stuff like that to alter this or minimize. I mean, not alter, but eliminate. You're not. The best thing that you could just do with life is just gather great people around you, great people that you could trust around you. So create your scenarios, create your atmosphere with positive energy. You know what I'm saying? And then just hope for the best, pray for the best, and just try to put your best foot forward always. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's all that you could do, you know. And this, and control your psyche. Because if you really do start thinking about a lot of things, it can be frustrating. It can make you angry. It can make you feel a certain kind of way. When you start to feel a certain kind of way about some things, then that's when those other intentions start to grow inside of you. And once them things become uncontrollable, then that's when you create somebody else that you don't want to be.